Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Long time no see, but we're not gonna get into that, okay? For those of you who don't know, I'm a film student at Georgia State, and today I'm going to be showing y'all just how in tune I am with this film stuff. So next month, Jordan Peele is releasing his new film, Nope, and I'm so excited for the movie because his last two films were like amazing with a lot of hidden messages and stuff that you wouldn't catch the first time around. So I wanted to see what things could I point out in his new movie just by looking at the trailer. So I've researched, taken notes of all the points I want to share. So let's get right into it. So the first thing I want to get into is motifs. Motifs are repetitive ideas that are in a movie that is essential to the story. And so the first motif I want to talk about is like the eye or eyes. So in the first trailer there were 3 eye images, one of a monster, one of a lady doing this, and the other was on the shirt of KeKe. She had on a print shirt, but one of his eyes was covered. The icy machine was flashed like really fast in the first trailer, and I think it symbolized something. Of course we think about icy, but I'm thinking it's like ICU or I see something or I see aliens. And I was looking at the flavors of the icy machine, and it's like cactus, watermelon, berry, cactus. Now cactus is not a flavor of icy, so I was trying to see like, is it a riddle of some sort? But the only thing I could come up with was cautious, very cautious. I couldn't come up with another word for watermelon, but yeah, that's what I interpreted from that. And in the second trailer, there were more eye images. I can't remember them all like off the top of my head, so I'm just gonna put the pictures in the video. And it is something like very important about this eye image, and specifically the right eye, because it seems like most of the eyes or some of the eyes is the right eye, and the right eye is the eye of Ra, violent force that subdues enemies. So I'm thinking I'm a little bit on the right track, because it's clearly it seems to be a lot of chaos and stuff in this movie. And even when Daniel Kaluuya looks up at the UFO, like it looks like an eye. So yeah, it seems like either the eyes, one of the eyes are covered, closed, or just not shown at all. And what I think about with that is the Illuminati, because people in the Illuminati cover like one of their eyes. I think like the Illuminati eye represents all seeing too, so maybe like the aliens are all knowing or all seeing. And it kind of made me think about God in some way, because God is all knowing, God see everything. I don't know why I'm kind of getting the vibe that some of this movie kind of represents or references or symbolizes Christianity, because it's like you coming back to earth to do what? To destroy or to warn. And I think God do both eventually. Like the earth is gonna be destroyed, and God does show you little messages and do things that you should know that is essential to your future. So I want to speak about the left eye being covered on KeKe's shirt. I'm not sure if it represents what the left eye stands for, such as wisdom and protection and healing, or if it means the left eye is obstructed, so it only leaves room for the meaning behind the right eye. But Jordan Peele says not what you think, so maybe it's like I see something, but what you see is not really what you think is happening, if that makes sense. I'm gonna just get into that more later. Another thing that I think the eye symbolizes is like, don't look. You see, but you're not supposed to see. So I think if you do see, like, there are consequences. Like, for example, their dad died from an eye injury, and I'm thinking maybe it's because he looked at something that he was supposed to see. Because in part of the trailer, KeKe is slapping herself like that. Don't look, don't look, don't look. So I'm thinking like something would happen to her if she looked, which is why she's so adamant about not looking at something.
I don't think they take you if you don't look at it.
Another thing I want to talk about is wardrobe. So like KeKe has a Coyote shirt on twice in the trailer. One with the word coyote and the other with the picture of a coyote. And the picture of the coyote just so happened to be the Coyote from Roadrunner. And I didn't really watch Roadrunner growing up, so I researched the character analysis of the Coyote in that show, and it says the Coyote is an ostensibly malicious being, and yet somehow the audience feels compassion for him. And I'm thinking that's how we're gonna feel about KeKe's character, because she wears 2 shirts with Coyote on it, so I feel like it symbolizes her character in the movie. Coyote could never catch Roadrunner. Whatever dream she's after, she cannot get. And I'm thinking maybe she wants to be a movie star of some sort, because in the beginning of the first trailer, she's on a production set talking about the history of her family, motion pictures, and horses. They have that ranch with all those horses, so I'm thinking maybe she has dreams, but she's going about accomplishing them the wrong way. The narrator in the trailer said,
"This dream you're chasing, where you end up at the top of the mountain, it's the one you never wake up from."
I think there's more to KeKe's character than we actually think, but I'm gonna elaborate on that later. Ostensibly means something that appears to be one way, but it's actually not. So KeKe's character may ultimately not be malicious, but she may look malicious. Another thing that was repetitive is the characters around KeKe and Daniel's character wearing black. So they're in the middle of the desert. I know it's hot, especially in California. Why do y'all have on black? And usually in movies, black symbolizes bad or like evil. So maybe it means like those characters are evil, or maybe it just symbolizes that they are different than KeKe and Daniel in some way, but not necessarily evil. I don't know, but I know that's important to the story. This picture seems to be of the aliens, and they're wearing black. And it could mean that the characters that are wearing black are either on their side, working with them, or they are one of them in some way. The last thing I want to point out in wardrobe is Daniel Kaluuya's shirt. He had on a Zapta's Blood t-shirt. And Zapta's Blood is a song by Race Against the Machine, if I'm not mistaken. And there's a lot of lyrics that stand out to me that I think is essential to the story, so I'm just going to read those. It says, "So now you're pulling the moves, pulling the moves, pulling the moves. We'll wage war to replace our name. We'll wage war to reclaim our terrain." And at the end it says, everything for everyone and nothing for ourselves, everything for everyone and nothing for ourselves. And it says that a lot at the end of the song. And so this is my interpretation of those lyrics. So to replace our name and to reclaim our terrain, I'm thinking maybe that's why the aliens are coming to Earth, if it is really aliens, because maybe it's something down there going on that's not supposed to be going on. Or it could mean that KeKe and Daniel are trying to fight for their safety and the people around them, like as a protection from the aliens. So I'm thinking maybe they're trying to fight for their world, fight for their land against the aliens. So it could be interpreted either way, but I know that is like very essential. I think the name of the city in the movie is called Jupiter's Claim, and I researched how Jupiter is beneficial to Earth, and it says while Jupiter often protects Earth and the other inner planets by deflecting comets and asteroids, sometimes it sends objects on a collision course straight toward the inner planets. So maybe it could be people from Jupiter coming to Earth to tell them something, or claim the Earth for themselves. Everything and everyone for nothing for ourselves. I think that means that KeKe is selfish. And I already told y'all, Coyote symbolized, the Coyote was malicious in Roadrunner, and she has on shirts that displays a coyote. Daniel is the person that was wearing the shirt in the movie. So I'm thinking that he is the one that's saying everything for everyone and nothing for ourselves, but I don't think KeKe gets that memo. And I just think maybe they're on 2 different sides of the plot, and I'm gonna get into that. The next thing I want to talk about is blocking. So blocking is basically like where the characters are on screen, or where things are positioned. It seems like Daniel and KeKe are on opposite sides of each other. in almost every clip of the trailer. So I'm thinking that may symbolize they're on opposite sides of the plot or opposite sides of the story. And in this clip, Daniel seems so uninterested in what KeKe has to say. He even corrected her in such a nonchalant manner. And it kind of shows that their relationship may be kind of rocky and KeKe may look more negative than Daniel. But it's not really the reality of the situation, keyword being ostensibly.
And that man is my great-great-grandfather.
Great.
There's another great-grandfather.
In this picture, KeKe is in the city, so I'm thinking she only went to the country because of the death of her father, which is why their relationship isn't as close because she hasn't been around. You know how I explained the Zapdos Blood lyrics between KeKe and Daniel, and I'm just thinking Daniel is like more so the protagonist, and KeKe is a protagonist as well, but really she may be an antagonist in some sort of way, but we're still gonna be rooting for her because like the story is centered around her and her family. But now I want to talk about like other things that I noticed, such as the kite. But in one of the movie posters is a kite tail coming from a cloud, and kite symbolize fate and prophecy. So since the kite is hanging from the UFO, I'm thinking maybe they're coming to tell the world about their fate or trying to save them in some sort of way. Maybe they're saying like your fate is in our hands. Maybe they're saying it in a way to like save them or in a way to harm them. So it really can go either way, but I'm thinking like I'm thinking it's in a way to save and not harm. And the reason why they might end up harming ultimately is because of what the characters are doing. And I'm gonna elaborate on that. I want to talk about the rainbow as well. Like there's a repetitive theme of like a rainbow or rainbow colors, and even one of the note videos on YouTube has rainbow in the title. The word rainbow has a lot of good meanings, such as peace, good luck, and communication, but it can also symbolize death, war, and transition. So with that, I'm kind of leaning more on the death and war side because it seems like it's going to be a lot going on in this movie. So yeah. Another thing I want to talk about is choices. In another note video on YouTube, choices was in the title. So I'm thinking everything that's happening in this movie is because of the choices that they are making. I just feel like that word was very essential to knowing what's really going on in the story. I'm thinking like they're making some kind of bad decisions to make all this havoc appear in their life.
I think we pissed them off.
Yeah, they repainted your house.
They're gonna come.
Usually when blood is shed, it means war. So I'm thinking when the blood is poured over their house, it symbolizes we weren't here for this at first, but now your choices has caused us to choose war. Another thing I want to get into is the Deformed Woman and like horse sacrificing. Everybody is talking about how the woman looks like a horse, and I don't think that's far from the truth. And I'm thinking maybe she is the result of an experiment on a horse, or either she's an alien as well and coming to Earth to warn the people about their fate. If you look very closely in the second trailer, you can see the woman standing up and she has a picture of a normal looking woman on her sweater, and I'm thinking that's her. But like I said, she also could be coming to Earth to warn them about their fate in a disguise. And I say that because the image of the eye is similar to an image in the movie called Warning from Space. And in Warning from Space, there was an alien who came to Earth to warn everybody about like what was going to happen to save them. So maybe it could be that, but she's tied into this somehow in some way. I just don't know exactly what yet, but I'm just throwing out my ideas and theories. If it is a horse sacrifice, a horse turned human, I think KeKe may have something to do with that. And the reason why I say that, because I already said that KeKe is selfish. And in one part of the trailer, KeKe is talking to another character. On the wall in the area that they're sitting in is a poster of a movie called Do It at Diablo. And Do It at Diablo, in that movie, there's someone who is providing horses for an army. So I'm thinking like maybe KeKe is providing horses for experiments or sacrificing in order to get something in return, but I don't really know. The other thing I want to mention, the tall boys or the sky dancers or however you choose to address them, I couldn't really come up with what it means in a deeper way. They're like outside of car dealerships or businesses to attract attention, and they are all over the ranch. So I'm thinking maybe they're using them to attract attention for the horses, the horse sacrificing and stuff like that, or maybe it's to attract the aliens so KeKe can get her money shot. A deeper symbolization I did come up with is maybe the tall boys represent souls. The hidden language of the soul is dance. Maybe there are souls of horses, maybe souls of people. I have no clue, but they represent something. But maybe it is just as simple as attracting attention for people to, one, come get horses, or two, for the aliens to come to their area so they can get the pictures that they want. Another thing I want to get into is the crab. So in the first trailer, there was a crab walking over like a sofa or like a replica of a house. I researched the symbolism of the crab, and crabs symbolize defense. So I'm looking at it as the crab is walking over the house for protection. And I'm thinking maybe that's what the UFO is there for protection against something else, to warn them about their fate. There was another crab reference in part of the trailer where KeKe, Daniel, and another character were talking outside of a restaurant, a fast food restaurant, I'm assuming, and on one of the signs it had crab witch, like a crab sandwich. I think crabs, or like what crabs symbolize, are important, and the crab and the UFO are kind of similar in shape and similar in like hovering over something. So yeah. The last thing I want to get into is the glove in OJ's mouth. So as I said before, I think KeKe and Daniel are on opposite sides of the plot. KeKe is doing something that she's not supposed to be doing, and Daniel doesn't necessarily support it, but he doesn't try to stop it or say anything about it, which is why I think the glove was in his mouth, because he knows, but he's not going to say anything or stop it. I just think KeKe is very money hungry.
This would be an opportunity. I'm talking rich and famous for life.
There's plenty of videos for flying shit online.
Ain't nobody gonna get what we gonna get.
What we gonna get?
The money shot.
She wants to get the money shot. She's trying to take advantage of the opportunity that'll make them rich. And instead of capitalizing off of what is coming, or like the aliens, instead of capitalizing off of it, I think she should accept it to see what they could be coming for. She just thinking about herself and what she could gain from it. But that's just my interpretation. Let me know what you guys think of my theories. I hope everything is making sense, because I have a reason for everything that I've said in this video. So if y'all want more videos or more film theory videos or TV show theories, please let me know, and I will not mind giving that to y'all. Stay tuned, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.